connection. Meeting is on streaming live on Facebook. Okay. It's supposed to be. All right, we can start. Actually, it's going to be recording. Let's check it out. Okay, it's on live right now. Right. Good morning, Arshad. How are you?
Hi. Good morning, Stephen. How are you? Thank you so much.
Good. Very good. Thank you for joining today. It's a special day. It's a nice day, actually. I can see your background and you are ready to go. Let me give you or share a couple of things about our Open Up. Open Up is a platform, unique platform where we can share, an individual can share their life stories, life challenges from anywhere in the world. There's no gender limitation, there's no age limitation. Anyone can join and speak about or talk about your life journey, life challenges, life struggles. We have been through so many situations. You witnessed so many situations, so you can share your life stories. So the other part of the positive thing is whoever is listening, whoever is actually viewers or the listeners, so they can take the message and then they can connect with the reality and the life situations, and then they can change some in their life in a positive way. Especially this group or this platform is where men or boys can open up their heart and then share. But having said that, there's no limitation with ladies or gender. They can come and talk about, as a boy, as a man, as a dad, as a father, as a single parent, anybody. Men in your life, any part of your life, any stage of your life, they come across. So what they are going through, what they are facing through. So just share, okay? Today I want to bring an awesome human being. He's a good friend of mine, and then he is willing to share his life story. Let's hear from Arshad Awan. Welcome to the show, Arshad. Thank you for accepting and then joining today, and then willing to share your life stories. Let's start with hear about your background, a little bit about yourself.
Stephen, thank you so much. I really feel like an honored to be on your show, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And I want to say also thanks to your viewers who are getting up early in the morning and join your show. Yes, as you say, like especially like the culture or the background I have, in which men or boys are told to be strong. It doesn't matter what. Like, on the other hand, I think we have the same feeling at all the other gender, but we've been told be strong because we have so much responsibility from the family, from the community. So sometimes, yes, we do hide our emotions. We don't tell what's going on with our mental state. We try to hide it, and we try to be all good, and which sometimes like cause problem too. That
sorry, Arshad. Just to start with your brief background, so people can know, get to know about yourself, like who are you and where are you from, and things like that.
That's where I'm coming.
The
little intro that how that happened.
Yeah.
So as I said, like so we told by the family to be strong, everything. So for example, like in my family, okay, I'm not talking about like my father and mother, but like all extended family, like my uncle and my aunts, those. So I'm the like the eldest male,
Mm.
and I have been told from the very beginning that my cousins, they're gonna look up to me. So whatever I do, they're gonna follow that path. So since the childhood, I was very, do the right thing, don't do this thing, don't go there, come home early, those kind of thing. So that's how I brought up. Uh, so sometimes people say that I'm very quiet, and that's the only reason I'm very quiet, because I don't have like any stories to tell, because I was always like under whip, that you have to be straight, because they're like your little cousin, they're gonna look up to you, and if they say, "Oh, Arshad did this," oh my God, we thought that he's a pretty good guy. So I always kept under the whip. My father, even like like I would say that you would agree that in some years ago, even aunt and uncle, they have so much control over us.
Yeah.
So you have to look for your aunt, you have to look for your uncle. So that's kind of my childhood is. Okay. So now give you a little more further background. I was born in Pakistan, a small city called like Burewala, which is close to Multan. I think maybe two and a half hour. And then my father uh, works in the textile industry. So I have the opportunity to live in various cities of Pakistan, which includes like Multan, Lailpur, which is called Faisalabad, and there's another city, Miawali, and then there's a city called Chinur. So since my father was working in a textile mill, so we moved every like 2 years here, three years there. And by the time I finished my eighth grade, I realized that due to this moving, my education is being affected. So I asked my father that if I can go to my village and I can stay with my grandfather. And my father, uh, God bless him,
Are you okay?
and he said yes. So I left my father and mother, and I came to my village. So now you can imagine that I left like the luxury life, like in the cities I have, like we have everything. But just for my education, I decided to stay in the village. Okay, when I came to the village and I start studying like the closest city, so I have to walk like a mile and a half from the village to the nearest what you call that, asphalt road, and from there I will get a bus, and from bus I think it was half an hour travel to the city, and then I will go to the city and get off on the bus, and then I think the school was like 15 minutes away. So then I go to school and attend the school and come back. So I spent 4 years in the village, and I finished my ninth and 10th grade there, and then I finished my 11th and 12th grade there. And in those 4 years, I think I have learned so much about the life, which I think I might not be able to learn everything in when I was when I was living in the city. In the village, I see how the community built, how the people care each other, and how the like the things being produced in the like for example, here we take for granted everything. We go to the store and we buy the carrots, we buy the tomato, and we say, oh, okay, But I have seen, actually, I have worked like with my uncles when I was living there, and I know how to pick the cotton, and I know how to plant the rice. I know how to cut the wheat, and I know how to cut the take care of the sugar cane, and from the sugar cane you make the that the juice, and the juice make that I don't know what that color that sweet those things. So with that experience, now I have a sort of like all the experience. I have the city life experience. I have the village life experience. So so in that sense, I'm pretty balanced. I don't get like excited. Okay, we go to the city or we go to the camping or whatever, because I'm pretty fortunate enough to experience all those things. So that's my little background. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah.
So now you are an accountant, and then also you are in a media, running a media. Is that right?
That's right. Yes.
Okay. So when you go back to your early childhood, let's say about 5 or 10 or 15 years old, is there any connection you can see, anything related to your current profession? Because the reason why I'm asking is always it's not an incident. It's always there's a reason. There's a connection between those times, and then some kind of influence or some kind of inspiration or something. Anything you can think of it between your current position and early childhood.
Yeah, as I said like before that I left my father when I was in grade 8, and then I was pretty much like independent.
Okay.
I was living with my grandfather and my uncles. So at that point I didn't have any like a person who's gonna guide me. And so when I was going to into this school in a small city, what I found out that a job in a bank. I see there's a bank too. I don't mean that a job in a bank, like a banker's job, is pretty good. So I decided, okay, I want to work in a bank.
Okay.
And then somebody told me that, oh, okay, if you want to work in a bank, you have to do the BCom, and BCom means like Bachelor of Commerce.
Right.
So I finished my 9th and 10th, and then 11th and 12th grade in like my village and with the closest city. And then I moved to a big city in Pakistan. It's called Hyderabad.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to Hyderabad, which is close to Karachi.
Yeah.
And that's where I studied my Bachelor of Commerce.
Mm-hmm.
I studied commerce, and then I was lucky enough to find a job in Karachi, not in a bank, but it was in with a chartered accounting company.
Mm-hmm.
So I was hired there. So I went there, and then I started learning the accounting and everything. And then somehow, even though I'm from the village and I don't have any role model or an example, I decided that I want to go study for abroad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then somebody told me, okay, if you want to go study abroad, you have to learn, you have to take tests for TOEFL. TOEFL is a test of English as a foreign language.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's more for like an American thing, and in Canada it's IE something, IELT. I don't know what that. So then in Karachi, I was working from 9 to 5, and the evening from 6 to 9. From 6 to 9, I would go to an English institute and
Mm-hmm.
to study my TOEFL. And then I took my TOEFL and I passed. And then I've at the same time where I was studying in the institute, our administrator, he was kind enough to help me, and he started sending my applications to like to Canada, to America, to Australia, and all those countries for the admission.
Mm-hmm.
And I was lucky enough to get my admission in the States. So in 1987, I came to the States and I started studying my accounting there. So I did my Bachelor of Science in business administration, majoring in accounting. So that's how the accounting part started. And now you want to know how the media starts?
Yeah, just briefly, because the reason is some kind of sometimes the profession is also make some kind of influence or inspire to somebody, right?
Yes.
Because there's always a reason to start, other than the profession, some kind of hobbies or interest or general cost or, social cost. So go ahead.
Yes. So with the media, like in 1998, I got married, and my wife, she was not able to get a visa soon enough. I mean, eventually she will get for the States. So a friend of mine suggested we should come to Canada, applying for immigration to Canada, and I say yes. So in 1998, I applied immigration to Canada, and within 6 months, I mean, we didn't have any interview, no nothing. We just got the medical, and within 6 months,
Mhm.
thanks to the government of Canada and to the people of Canada for letting us stay here. So in 1998, we came to Canada, and my wife, she was a little bit into like modeling and sort of like in the showbiz. So she said, "Okay, I want to do the modeling. I want to do this." So I support her, even
Mhm.
though even though from the family side it was not allowed. But I said, "No, you go ahead. We are in a good country, so there's nothing wrong with that." So she started doing the modeling and everything. And then after a few years, she said, "Okay, you know what? I want to have a show on the TV." So I said, "Okay." So I talked to the various channels and everything, and then in one of the channel we got the show. So that's how I got involved with the media. And then I start taking active role in, like, instead of just passive role that she's doing everything, I start taking active role, and I start doing go to the field, do the interview, do the recording, that kind of sort of thing. So that's how I got involved in this media thing.
Okay, nice, nice. So let's go back to those days as a boy. Of course, you already mentioned a couple of things, the relationship, but just deeply, just to talk about the relationship between you and your father, or any major challenges you can remember growing in a rural or village. Of course, we almost everybody, every one of us, we came from a village, and then we know the struggles and things like that. But just share some of those things.
No, like I have a very good relationship with my father, and I have no complaint. That's why I choked up, because I have lost my father and mother a while back, but somehow I still don't acknowledge that. I still say that they are here. I don't acknowledge. So I think that's one of the things with my mental state, that
Hmm.
I don't acknowledge that fact. I don't whenever the time comes every year, I don't acknowledge that they're gone. I still say there. So that's one of the things I'm holding. I don't
Okay.
just I just don't. Otherwise, in village, I have learned so many things, and I think it make me more independent, because
Hmm.
I was doing a lot of my own stuff in the village,
Yeah.
and because it was my decision. It's
Right.
it's not that somebody sent me there. It was my decision to come there. So I have to face the music. What do you call that? So whatever was there, I faced it, and then I think I did. I would say I did pretty good. I mean, I didn't give up. Like,
So let's just change the direction. Talk about the society, the community, especially Pakistan community in those days, or in Pakistan and in Canada too. Like you have so many years, so you have been to so many events and also connected with the people. So let's talk about in general terms how as a men, how they are, what they are struggling or what they are going through. You know.
I think in general, I think we are pretty much on the same boat,
Hmm.
that we have to protect our family.
Right.
We have to take care of our kids.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter how we feel from the inside, or what kind of issues we have ourselves. We have to protect our family. We have to take care of our kids. We have to work in the community, and try to bring good things from the community,
Right.
and not like point out the negative things. If there are negative things, we should address them too, but in a like a polite way.
Mhm.
not like pointing fingers. Thank you.
Um, so um, it's those as a family man, as a community leader, what you feel, even younger generations, our boys, any specific challenges you actually witnessed, or anything in your mind, going back, or something is strike, and then this is really hurting, or this is going on, and then we had to do something like that, something, have you come across any of the incident, or have you heard of any of those?
Uh, I I think that there's a little struggle between the generations.
Mm-hmm.
The people who come here, like especially with the kids, are uh, even though they say we come here for the kids,
Yeah.
then they don't let them be a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Then they say, okay, you should not do this, you should not do that. Yeah, of course, you have to discipline your kids. But then kids are spending more time outside than inside. So you have to give them space. You have to let them do a few things. Keep watching them because I have at home. I have like he's going to turn 19 next month, and then I have a 16 years old and 14 years old. I let them what they do, but I still keep watching them. I
Mm-hmm.
I don't just punish them and say don't do that, because later on they're gonna move into the society.
Right.
If they don't learn now what is good, what is bad, if they cannot make a decision, if they cannot learn how to make a decision right now, they might not be able to make a decision later on,
Right.
and then they might blame us. Okay, my father never let me do this, or my mother never did this, so I don't know what to do that. So that's my take on that one.
Okay. Um, Anything, I mean, particularly anything you actually, something went wrong, or in your relatives, or in your friend circle, or even in the community, right? Any incident, particular incident related to our boys or men's. I just want to, share those, the aspect of it. What's It can be cultural, or it can be religion, or anything, but some kind of barriers, or something, because of that, the incident is really hurting, or the family, or anyway.
Yeah, I mean, there are a few incidents. I mean, I don't know the details of where the
No, we don't need any details, but
yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
like where maybe somebody is like a female child has something which she's not supposed to do, or somebody's male child did something which brought insult to the family, those
Hmm.
kind of thing. And that's another thing. Also, another thing which I really object that. Let's say if I'm doing something right, everything right, and
Yeah.
and everybody respect me,
Hmm.
and all of a sudden my child did something wrong, he stole the car, or he um, did something, then why I'm getting blamed? That it should be my child who's getting blamed, not me, because I didn't do anything. And we always say, oh, it's somebody's son. Okay,
Yeah.
why are you pointing to somebody?
Hmm.
Oh, that's just on the side note. Yeah. So yeah, there are some incidents where child did something wrong, and which didn't bring any like good result.
Right.
So my suggestion that please give your child some space, hang on, let them hang out with their friends, because if you force them not to hang out with their friends, then they're going to make different excuses, and then they're going to say, okay, we're going to the library, or we're going to study, and they might end up with the yeah. Now I remember like an incident in which few like teenagers get into the car, and then they said that we're going to school, but they went somewhere else, and way back they got in an accident, and terrible things happen.
Right. Um, of course, we everybody, one of us studied or knows the history. What do you think of our generation? I mean, your generation and our father's generation, or even if you go back one or two, three generations back, and the challenges as a men, the struggles. Is there any changes or anything you can think of it? What's the difference, or of course, the technology or Western world, it's kind of like a different, but going back to your, anything difference?
No, I like in general, as you said, like the way things are being done, that might have changed, but in general, no, nothing changes. Because
Mm,
I remember, like when I was a child, or uh, I was not allowed to read magazines.
mm-hmm,
I was not allowed to go to movies.
mm-hmm,
Okay, so now we say we're not going to let our kids use the phone, or we're not going to let them use the tablet, or those kind of things.
right,
So I think we are still pretty much on the same path
right,
what it was in the past. And because we always think that there's bad things, it's going to create a bad influence.
mm-hmm,
On the other hand, I would say not necessarily. So, for example, when I read those magazines, even though I was forbid, but I read those magazines, and from those magazines I extract the lifestyle in the West,
right,
that how the things are in the West. So so sometimes we've been told
yeah,
that when you go to the West, everybody's drinking there, everybody's gambling there, and everything is on the street, this and that. But when you actually come here, that's not true.
mm,
Yes, there are bad things here, but I would say the majority of the good things here.
exactly, exactly. Let's talk about your business world, the connection, or when you go through, when you have in the business world. What do you see the men's actually going through, any life challenges or any situations they had to face? Of course, we have to balance with our family and at the same time our business and everything. But specifically talking about men, so as a man, as a father, family man, and the business, when it comes to business, how do you can handle, or what's a major challenges you had to face?
I think that's a tough one. That's a tough one because uh, it's pretty hard to balance the family life and the work, because there's so much time we spent outside doing the business.
Hmm.
By the time we come home, we are tired, and the kids might be ready to sleep, so we don't end up spending that much time with the kids. And so then we lack that relationship which we trying to build. And even though we are doing everything for the kids, like
Yeah.
trying to make money, but then kids end up blaming us that, oh, you guys don't spend enough time with us.
Hmm.
So it's a challenge. Yeah, it's a challenge.
Right, right. All right. So anything you want to add? We are almost at the end of our, talk. It's almost 10:27. Anything particularly in your mind that you want to share with our audience, when it comes to boys or men's or father, or any particular incident you want to share, father figure, or anything, life memories you want to share? You can think of any situations.
No, I just want to say thank you to you, Steven, for giving this opportunity, and to your audience. And I think what I want to say, like in general,
Yeah.
that we should work each with each other.
Hmm.
Okay, when I say each other, mean not within your own community, but with different community, and we try to learn from each other.
Right.
Everybody has something good to offer.
Of course. Yeah.
Sometimes we just shun people because oh no, they are from that community, they know nothing. No, that's not true.
Mm.
I have the privilege to involve in the various community,
Yeah.
and wherever I go, I learn few things.
Hmm.
So that means if I learn something, somebody might have learned from me too.
Of course. Yeah.
So if we try to learn from each other, we try to mingle with each other, we will learn from each other, and we make this society a better society. Thank
Right.
you.
Right. Thank you, Arshad. Viewers, listeners, I'm pleased to have this gentleman today, and then he actually accepted my invitation, and then willing to share his life stories with us. Thank you, Arshad. This is on every Sundays from 10 to 10:30. Open up. This is specifically for men's topics, but anyone can join. Anyone can share your life stories, and we can connect with boys or men's or any males life, and their struggles, anything. Okay, so let's do it, and then help each other. And of course, we will bring Asad in the future, and then we will talk more in a different thing. Okay, thank you all. Thank you for the viewers, and thank you, Asad, one more time.
Thank you
And
much. Thank you. Thank
bye,
you so much.
everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.